We spent 4 months trying to get this, and they fought us tooth and nail, and then finally the state parliament made an order that it be presented. It came yesterday, it was delivered yesterday, right on the deadline for it to arrive. And the initial response is, you can see the problem, why they didn't want to release it. It's a terrible document. It's a deeply, deeply flawed document. The absolute key is that when the council ran a poll with the council election, 69% of the community said that they didn't want multi-level residential accommodation in this precinct. The response from the government to that was, that poll is not part of our process, so we're ignoring it. The response to the submission document now reveals that 61% of the community are opposed to what is proposed. Where do they stand now? This is their process. No one else's. They've got to own up now. Our mayor and our local member have also got to address. They've said they're representing this community. Well, the community has spoken. 61% don't want it. What they did was they paraphrased people's submissions, and then they addressed the paraphrasing, their own paraphrasing. They didn't go in and address what was actually said. The standout in that is that the council commented on car parking, and then they paraphrase that and say that the council is concerned that there is too much parking in this precinct. No one in Coffs Harbour believes there's too much parking in this precinct. They're going to build, initially, where we're standing now, they say there's 158 car parks less than there is now. With their development, there'll be 150 car parks less. The development will create a need for 300 on-street car parks, and they're telling us there's going to be too much car parking. There's nowhere near enough car parking, and for them to gloss that over and tell us that there's too much, it's just outrageous. They say they've listened to the community and they've reduced the height of the buildings from 25 metres down to 22.5. But then they tell us for flexibility, they're going to put another site-specific clause in, which will allow them to go back to the 25, if not above, for flexibility. It's just ridiculous. That in contrast, they said initially that the building height restrictions in this precinct would reflect what is outside the precinct. Everything along the railway line, everything west of the railway line is 15.5 metres. It doesn't matter how they spin it. That is the actuality, that 15.5 metres is the building height requirement now west of the railway line. They're cost shifting to the government, to the local area. Various things, traffic lights down there, a pedestrian overpass at the railway station, doesn't appear to be funded in any way, shape or form. And a lot of it, they're saying, oh, that's outside the precinct, so we don't have to address that in this proposal. They've got to address it. Otherwise, the government's going to be reaching into people here's back pocket to get money to fund this. It's just outrageous how they can say they're listening to this community right at the start of this process. Andrew Fraser to start with, Dermesh Singh, Melinda Pavey said the community is at the heart of decision making on this process. We never have been, and this final document just highlights that absolutely, that we have not been listened to. 61% objected to it, and what are they doing?
Keep the foreshore for all, not the